There exists a level of psychological control where inner chaos cannot survive. Today, you're going to learn how a 16th century samurai trained his mind the way a warrior conditions his body, built a method that dissolved inner conflict. Have you ever noticed how some people seem internally aligned? They choose to concentrate, and they concentrate. They decide to wake up early, and they rise. They choose to quit a bad habit, and it ends. No bargaining, no inner debate, no exhausting battle of willpower. Their mind cooperates with their choices. Meanwhile, most people feel divided. They make decisions, yet their thoughts undermine them. They promise change, yet their impulses override them. So they assume they're just naturally disciplined. They were born with stronger willpower. My brain just doesn't work like that. But what if your inner disorder isn't permanent? What if your mind doesn't? Resist because it's defective, but because it has never been conditioned to follow your direction. Miyamoto Musashi understood this. He trained his mind deliberately and methodically. If he chose courage, fear weakened. If he chose focus, distractions faded. If he chose action, hesitation dissolved. Before his death, he described the mental framework he used to develop total internal command. He called it Kokoro no Shihai, mastery of the heart-mind. There is one requirement, though. You must stop identifying with every thought you have. You must see your mind as something that can be instructed, shaped, and disciplined, not as your identity. When Musashi was 16, he realized something unsettling. His greatest obstacle wasn't an opponent, it was his own mind. By that age, he had already fought and won multiple duels. His technique was refined. His body was hardened by relentless practice. His strategy exceeded his years. Yet in one decisive moment during a fight, he froze. His body knew the counter. He had rehearsed it countless times. His stance was steady, his timing precise. But for several seconds, his thoughts erupted. What if he's faster? What if this is where you die? What if one mistake ends everything? His body was ready to move. His mind interfered. He survived the duel, but barely. And those seconds disturbed him deeply. In combat, a brief pause can mean death. That night, he asked himself a question that reshaped his life. I have trained my body for years. Why have I not trained my mind? He saw the contradiction. Endless hours refining physical skill, yet his thoughts remained undisciplined, reactive, and inconsistent. He would decide to wake at dawn and choose to stay in bed. He would plan intense practice and abandon it when boredom appeared. He would commit to restraint and give in to impulse. His decisions were constantly overruled by his mental chatter. Most people accept this as normal. Musashi did not. He resolved to condition his mind exactly as he had conditioned his body, through structured, progressive discipline until it responded instantly to instruction. He recognized a crucial truth. You are the one who decides. Your mind is the instrument, and instruments must be trained. He began observing his thoughts like a scientist studying an untamed animal. Every time his mind resisted, he documented it. Patterns emerged quickly. His thoughts were not aligned with his declared intentions. They operated independently. So he created a method. First, he started small, very small. He commanded himself to sit completely still for 5 minutes. No movement, no adjustments. Within moments, discomfort arose. His mind protested. This is pointless. This is boring. Move. Stop. Do something else. Instead of complying, he reinforced the directive. We remained seated. The resistance intensified, but he held the position. The next day, he extended the duration. Gradually, his mind began to understand that objections would not change the outcome. Small victories established authority. Then he increased difficulty. Longer periods of focus. Repetition of techniques with complete attention. Meditation without shifting position. If he failed to follow through, he repeated the task multiple times as correction. His mind quickly learned a simple equation. Immediate compliance created less discomfort than resistance, followed by consequence. Responsiveness became efficient. Later, he noticed another weakness: delay. He would decide to begin training, but allow 5 or 10 minutes before starting. That delay became the breeding ground for excuses. So he eliminated the gap. action began within 3 seconds of decision. The movement had not started by then. He imposed repetition as reinforcement. Very soon, hesitation disappeared. He also discovered that environment matters. When temptation was close, resistance grew stronger. So he removed easy access to distractions. He arranged his surroundings so that obeying his decision required less effort than avoiding it. He stopped depending on raw willpower. He engineered conditions that favored discipline, but an even deeper issue remained: internal division. Part of him sought mastery. Another part sought comfort. When those motives were equal, conflict emerged. So he established a hierarchy of values: mastery above comfort, growth above ease, honor above indulgence. Once his priorities were clearly ranked, internal debate weakened. When comfort clashed with mastery, the hierarchy decided instantly. Over time, something remarkable happened. He no longer argued with himself, no longer negotiated with impulses. He chose and he acted. Not occasionally, consistently. He did not conquer his mind through force alone. He conditioned it through repetition, consequence, and clarity. Most people unknowingly train their minds to ignore them every time they delay, justify, or surrender. To distraction, they reinforce disobedience. Musashi reversed that conditioning. Every decision became a training session. Every act of follow-through strengthened alignment. His advantage in battle was not superior strength, nor unmatched intelligence, nor mystical ability. It was internal unity. When fear appeared, he directed courage. When doubt surfaced, he initiated action. When discomfort arose, he endured. His thoughts followed his command because they had been trained to do so. The essential lesson is this: mental resistance is not a permanent trait. It is a learned pattern. What has been conditioned can be reconditioned. Each moment presents a choice: yield to resistance and reinforce it. Execute your directive and strengthen responsiveness. You are not battling your mind, are shaping it. Authority is built through consistency. Train it deliberately, condition it patiently, and transform it into an instrument that responds the moment you decide.